Hi, I'm Caelen Pitkeathly. I am 16 years old and I have a passion for surfing. I love riding longboards. I love riding all boards, but logs are my thing. I am a bit of an old soul, and I kind of just like everything like around that 60s era, just that I kind of relive that 60s era in a way. Everything from fashion to music to surfing. I don't know, I don't know, I can't tell you what makes me attracted to it, but I just love it. So I originally was born in Sydney, Australia, but I've just recently moved back to the land of the long white cloud, Mount Maunganui, where my father was actually born and grew up. But yeah, we've moved back, me and my younger brother and my mother. We're all loving it here. It's kind of just like, it's become my brother and I's new home, and you know, we're loving every part of it. It's awesome. We're by the beach and life's good. The people are so nice here as well. That's like, people are just, I gotta give the thumbs up to the people. The people are way nicer here. Sydney's great. I loved it there. Obviously, that's where I grew up. Sydney's always going to be home for me. But yeah, just going back, I've been back twice this year already, and far out, it's so hectic. Like just
the big city?
The big city, yeah, the big smoke. Yeah, it's crazy. And I even grew up in a quiet part of Sydney, and
What part?
we were in a little spot called Freshwater Beach. So it's actually the neighbouring beach of the famous Manly Beach. But it's always been like a quiet little pocket till recently. But yeah, nothing's quiet nothing's quiet compared to, wait, what? Everything, wait, I lost what I'm trying to say. Everything is busy compared to here. Like, this is so quiet, you know? This is so quiet compared to Sydney. I'm grateful for life, just life in general. I'm grateful for the ocean, grateful for fresh air, just grateful for surfing. I don't know. I'm grateful for family, like friends. I mean, life is such a special thing. It's like crazy, and everyone, you can think so deeply into it. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I'm grateful to be alive just for surfing. I'm grateful. Surfing is such an amazing sport. It brings people together. Like, even though the surfing community is huge, it kind of is like real tightly knit, you know? And especially in towns like this where like the Mount, there's lots of surfers in the Mount. The Mount is kind of like surf mecca, or one of the surf meccas in New Zealand. And it kind of just like, everyone knows each other. Everyone's family. And it just, everything kind of just, we all revolve around the ocean, and I don't know, it's great, it's awesome. Surf community, it's real tight knit, and like, even though as big as it is, it kind of feels like family. Everyone wants to help each other out. Yeah, so a few months ago, we went over to Portugal on a trip for a comp, and for a number of reasons, yeah, we couldn't get our boards over there, and I was like kind of freaking out. But through a contact, I was able to reach out to the local surf shop, and they were able to gift me a board for the competition, and they pretty much just gave me a board to ride. They gave me a wetsuit to use. They hooked me up with some clothing, and so grateful, like an amazing people. And I guess that little story represents the surf community as a whole. But just everyone's willing to give. And yeah, like everyone acts like family. And you just, you know that people have your back, and it goes for the whole world. Like in this comp, I met people from all over the world, from America to Brazil, to even people that I hadn't even met when I was living in Australia, you know. And it was just cool, like getting to meet a big group of like-minded people that just surf for the love of it, surf as an art form, listen to music, like they use art and music for inspiration. And it was just a really cool gathering of really cool people. I was very lucky to have a coach and now a really good mate of mine, Matt Chinoski, help me and mentor me. And he started off as a longboard mentor for me. He was just helping me with my longboard and competition side of things. And then he noticed that my longboarding was lacking due to my ability to not be able to surf other crafts. And so he expanded on that by getting me on all sorts of boards, thrusters, twin fins, mid-lengths, even long gliders, guns. And yeah, he tested my abilities in all sorts of conditions as well. And his thing was like, if you can surf any board in all conditions, that is pretty much the best surfer you can be, you know? Surf all boards, all conditions, then you're just a well-rounded surfer. And when you can do that, it becomes easier, I guess. No, not easier, but yeah, it's just being a well-rounded surfer. It's more fun, and just you witness more experiences. Like I've paddled out on some pretty solid days where I'm very scared, and back to the surf community thing, just people are out there, and obviously when it gets big, you've got a lot more energy in the ocean. The playing field's a lot bigger. Everything's bigger. You're on bigger boards, the waves are bigger playing field, bigger currents and rips, bigger dangers. So everyone kind of binds together in a way when you're out in those big conditions, just because it is dangerous. And, you know, you respect the ocean will respect you. And you want to be respectful in those situations because you never know what the ocean's going to throw at you. You never know what's coming next. So you kind of, in big wave surfing, you all have each other's backs, and you're all there for each other. And if something goes wrong, have a big wipeout, you know someone's looking after you. You know, if there's jet skis out there, the jet ski will come to you. If there's no jet skis, you know, there'll be someone there that is ready to help. I first got into surfing, it's actually a pretty funny story. It's an unusual story. I got in real late. I didn't start properly till I was about 13. But I loved my boogie boards. I was a full bodyboarder. And yeah, well, Dad tried to get, so Dad's a surfer. And Dad tried to get me to start surfing as a young grom, like 6 years old, even before 6. He was pushing me into waves and trying to get me into the sport. And I was enjoying it, but never really loved it. And I picked up skating pretty young, and I kind of just got addicted to the concrete. Dad would want to take me surfing, but I just want to go to the skate park. And whether that be scootering, riding my bike, skating, I just loved the ramps, and I was a big skater. But
like on that first day?
Well, yeah, so I was a bodyboarder. And so I kind of had the feeling of that glide that all surfers know. But I was just on my stomach, and I remember watching my brother surf, and I was just like, wow, that is so cool. I got to try that. And then So yeah, I got a surfboard for Christmas, and I remember taking it out for the first time and Dad reteaching me how to stand up on a surfboard. And I don't remember the first wave exactly, but I just remember that session just going, this is so much better. I love surfing. And yeah, it kind of stuck from there and grew.
Did you start on a log?
No, that's a cool story. That's a cool story. Yeah, so I started off like most groms. You start off on your foamies and you're just learning how to stand up and you're just mucking around. And then I graduated to my first shortboard. I wanted to be the next Kelly Slater, just like every other kid. You know, you want to be on the world tour, like whacking the lip as hard as possible. And
yeah.
But I remember this is a very clear memory. It was one summer's day, and I was on my shortboard, and it was a really fun day, like just 2 foot, perfect rip bowl. And yeah, I was really struggling to catch waves. There was a big crowd, and there was 3 longboarders out there that day, just going round in circles, just bottom turning, cross stepping, nose riding, everything, soul arches, big drop knee turns. And I was just like, wow, like, give me that. Like, I want to try that. And so I remember going back to Dad that night and going, Dad, I'm getting a longboard. Like, I don't care. I'll save up for it. We'll go half-half. I'll do anything. Just, I need to get a longboard. And then, yeah, so I just started saving up, got my first longboard, and then started just surfing, watching videos, watching all on YouTube, and was just, yeah, studying it back to front, and I loved it so much. And I just slowly kind of got better and better. And then it's funny, those 3 guys ended up becoming some of my best mates, and I'm still good mates with them now. And I don't surf with them anymore because they're in Australia, but whenever I get the chance, I go surfing with them, so it's good fun.
Story?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You got it really well out at Trigger, and you're just like, but the shortboard kept you nothing.
Yeah.
Those guys, they get it every.
Oh, I just remember the moment going, what am I doing on a freaking 510? Why am I on a 510?
You got that longboard.
Yeah.
How did that feel? Being like, because you only ridden truck.
Correct.
When you got that longboard.
Well, I was riding Dad's Mini Mow while I was saving up for the longboard, so I kind of got used to a longer rail line, but still going from I think it was a 7-foot Mini Mow to a 9-1 log, it was a big difference. And yeah, so it took a while to get used to, and I was a bit, you know, I didn't want to wear a leg rope at first, the classic leg rope debate. Never wanted to. Mum and Dad made me. But yeah, I remember I'd always like have my leg rope attached when I left the house, and then as soon as I got down to the beach, I'd rip it off and be like, oh yeah. A log is a traditional surfboard from the 60s, yeah. So logs, they were never really called logs, but they were always just called surfboards, because in the 60s, every board was over 9 foot.
Wasn't such a thing as a thruster.
A thruster shortboard in the 60s was, they were non-existent. You never would have thought people would be riding 5'10" thrusters these days. Everything was 9 foot, single fin, big, heavy, chunky. A log is a traditional surfboard. Logs are usually flatter. The rails are a lot softer and chunkier, and pretty much they just go slow. For a reason, yeah, exactly. So logs are made to nose ride. Well, actually, no, that's not right. Logs are made. No. How do I say this?
So that thing.
Yeah. Okay. I don't really think they're made to go slow necessarily. I think they just do go slow because of the bottom contours and the way the rails are shaped. And Yeah, they are meant to go slow because traditional boards went slow. So yeah, logs are all based off traditional surfboards, surfboards from the 60s. And yeah, so logs, lots of people think logging is just nose riding. But no, yes, nose riding is a key feature of longboarding and logging. But logging is when you're using the full length of the board, tail to nose, footwork, clean, fast footwork. And yeah, surfing in the pocket, surfing critical, tight, exciting, while still having that cruisy look, that smooth, silky style. And that's what all the best loggers in the world, that's why they are the best, because they can make the critical look easy. And that's what the guys in the 60s were doing as well, like guys like Bob McTavish, Nat Young, Phil Edwards, just some famous names. Even guys like Mickey Dora and stuff from California, Lance Carson, they all made critical surfing look easy and look fun. They didn't make it look hard, you know? Everything was smooth, silky, and everything just made you go, wow. After a while of not surfing, how do I feel once I get back in the water? Excitement, froth is what surfers call it. We're just frothing, we're chomping at the bit to get the next wave. And yeah, I guess we all live off the next wave, you know? We all want the next best wave. We all want that perfect wave. Whether that be a perfect 1 foot runner or a 10-foot big tube, you know? Every surfer is different and every surfer wants their dream wave. And that's what we're chasing, so it's excitement. It's pure excitement. Surfing to me means just fun, expression. I like that word. You see it at a lot of the comps now, especially the longboarding comps. Surfing is all about expression. That's where it kind of started as well back in the 60s. Like, it was a way of expressing how you feel, and it's just like art and music. Artists, they put a paintbrush and paint to canvas to express their feelings. You know, musicians do it through a guitar or a keyboard or whatever, you know, whatever their instrument is. And surfers do it on a surfboard on a wave, you know. How, you know, drawing your lines on a wave is just like drawing a painting on a canvas, you know. And you hear that phrase said in surfing quite a lot. When you get a nice, clean, long wall on a wave, they call it a canvas, and you put your painting up there and you do it how you want. Surfing's very free, and there's no right or wrong with surfing, you know. You do what you want, you surf how you like, and that's where you get style from, right? And style is such a interesting thing to me, because there's no really such thing as good or bad style, you know. Style's very subjective, and who I think has a good style, someone else might think has a bad style, you know. But every time you're watching surfing, you subconsciously think of style. You're always going, wow, I love that person's style, or I don't know, he doesn't surf too good. You know, surfing's just such an awesome sport, and lots of people use it for healing. It is a very common thing, and like for me, there is nothing better watching the sunrise from the surf. You know, you get out there before the sun's up and you're just catching waves, and usually it's the cleanest time of the day. You're just getting perfect, clean, fun waves, and you're watching the sunrise and all the beautiful colors in the sky. So is sunsets. Like, sunsets are amazing as well. You get all the purples, and it's funny. A lot of surfers are early risers, but like you said, there's also surfers that aren't early risers, and but yeah, I am an early riser. I always try get out before school or work, whatever it is. I feel like it just makes me happier during the day. Just knowing that I'd gone and caught a wave, even if it was a bad surf, you know, like even if I just got 2 horrific waves, I'm just like, I'm still stoked. I got out in the water. I feel fresh.
How do you feel?
I'm just, yeah, I'm happy. I feel free, you know, no stress. Just, I feel like peaceful, you know. Yeah, surfing just puts me in a good spot, especially when I surf before work or school, like I said. When I catch a perfect wave, the feelings are running high. Like, I've got heaps of feelings going through. Yeah, you know, when I catch a perfect wave, it's just freedom. It's peace, solitude. If it was a perfect wave, I think I'd just take it for what it is. Like I've got one story from, it was one of my first trips in Noosa, and my coach lent me it was a 910 log. And for me, who was probably only 5'4" at the time, like I was just a tiny little grom, just frothing, just wanting to surf. He's just given me this big thing, and I'm just like, this is like a cruise ship. And basically he just told me, go out there, catch a wave for as far as you can. He's like, I want to see you trimming. I want to just see you in the middle of the board, just trimming till the wave ends. And we're at Noosa, so this wave can go for hundreds and hundreds of meters. And yeah, I've taken off at the top of the point, and I've just taken a few steps to the middle, and I've pretty much just stood in ski stance or like parallel stance. And I've kind of just stood there and just done a big soul arch. And just, it's a feeling I'll never forget. I was going so fast, and it was like full steam ahead, you know. And just feeling the glide and feeling the 9'10" of rail, I guess, in the wave, like locked in, and just me standing there gliding on this amazing piece of craft. My mind was just going 1,000 kilometers per hour, just like, wow, this is special.
Therefore, from
special. I'm not sure if this is true or not. I would love to see if this is true, but I actually feel like you go faster. I don't know. I want a scientist to like prove that for me. If there's any scientists, please let us know. I don't know. It feels like I'm going faster. Yeah. I love it. And it's such a tribute to those guys in the 60s as well. Like they crouch down. Yeah.
Back is just like
hunched over. Yeah. And then they've got their arms out like this, and it's such a classic pose in surfing. Obviously there's the soul arch, but that would have to be up there with one of the best. The feeling of hanging 10 is a feeling like no other. I think that's the best way to put it, you know.
Do you want it's good to describe like the cross stepping up to the nose?
Yeah. Well, the whole process of a hang 10 is amazing. Just from the very start of the wave, you know, you're taking off and you're bottom turning, you're cross stepping, just like smooth cross stepping to the nose. It's like a pattern nearly, you know. And for me, it's now just, yeah, whoa, it changes. I can do 8 steps if I wanted to. But yeah, it's like it all depending on the wave, you know. You can't just do a hang 10 in every section. A hang 10 is a very calculated move, and you got to be in the pocket. You got to be in the right spot to do a hang 10, and cross stepping up to the nose is all calculations, you know. So if the section's right there, I might pop up in the middle of the board and just do a quick 1-2 to the nose, you know. what surfers call it, we call it reading the wave. I guess for a lot of people, it's, we're predicting it. We're reading what the wave is going to do. We're reading the future. Whoa, I never thought about it like that. That's actually crazy. Wow. Insane. Oh my God, that is insane. Wow. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so reading the wave is reading into the future. That is too good. Oh my God. Yeah, so
I love your enthusiasm.
I guess we're just reading into the future, and it's calculated, you know. Like if it's a long wave, I'll do 8 steps. Why not? I might even chuck in 10 steps. I don't know if I can do that. I've done it on 12-foot boards, but I don't know if I've done it on 9-foot boards. I could give it a go. The feeling of a good hang 10, a levitating 10, literally feels like you're flying. It is the best feeling, like when you've got the board levitating like right up and you're standing and you're like bolt upright 10, like some people call it hood ornament. Oh, hood ornament 10s are so good. Just like the ornament on the front of those fancy cars, you know, I don't know what car it is, but Bentley or Mercedes, you know, it's like the guys just like stood up like that. It's just like, hood ornament 10.
That's amazing.
Soul Arch 10, wow, it's fast. So many names. To do a drop knee turn feels powerful. Drop knee turns are special. Drop knee turns are, very elegant while being powerful, aggressive but stylish, smooth, and it's a very functional turn as well. It really gets you back into the pocket, back into the critical part of the wave. And that's where we want to surf. Being in ski stance and trimming is fast, engaged, locked in. What are all those words? All those words, you know. Soul arches are a funny thing. I am a very big fan of the soul arch. I don't do it often. I need to do it more. But soul arches are very functional while looking stylish. Soul arches push you forward. So you'll notice when you're in hang 10, right, you're on a board. When you're standing in hang 10, if you push your hips forward, it'll help the board levitate and it'll push the board forward. If you push your hips backwards, you're gonna park yourself and you're gonna put the board back in the pocket. So pretty much if you feel you're outrunning the section, you can push your hips back to like stall the board, put the slam on the brakes, you know? Where the soul arch is like an accelerator, you know? So your hips are a major feature for longboard surfing. If you don't have strong hips, good luck. But hips, we're always using our hips in surfing, and especially longboarding. Your hips are your acceleration, they're your brakes, they're your balance, they're your maneuverability. Your hips are important. Being surfed out is the best way of being tired in the world.
Surfed out.
Being surfed out is when you've been in the sun and the water all day and you're probably sunburnt, you're probably as crisp as a chip, and you're probably as red as a tomato, and you're as salty as freaking French fries. I don't know, but it's the only way I like to be tired. Like if I'm gonna be tired, I want to be surfed out tired. And because I feel like when you're surfed out, you feel accomplished. You're like, wow, I've made the most of the day. I've made the most of the waves, the conditions. Waves travel thousands and thousands and thousands of kilometers before they reach us, you know? And knowing that you've made the most of that wave that has traveled that far, it's just like, what? No better feeling. A wave is a movement of water that has traveled very far, usually made by wind or earthquakes. Yeah, earthquakes, that's the word I was looking for. Usually made by wind or earthquakes, and it's traveled thousands and thousands of kilometers, and they come in to the beach and they present themselves to surfers like us to go rip them to pieces. I am grateful for surfing because it has given me a passion. It's given me a love for the environment, and love for people, you know, and just love for everything. Surfing has taught me a lot of things. Surfing's a great life lesson, I feel like. The journey of a surfer, you learn your surroundings, you learn to be aware of your surroundings, you learn respect. You know, there's hierarchies in surfing. Every beach has their local hierarchy, you know. The guy that's surfed there all his life, he gets to choose any wave he wants. Then usually, if there's a pro out there, they get a few more waves just because they've put their time in, they're good at it, they're good at what they do. And then you usually have all your groms that are just frothing. They're just like, all scrapping the little insiders. You get them at every beach, those annoying little pests. And then I was one of them one day, but...
You're what, how old are you? 16?
I'm 16, yeah, exactly. I'm still one of them. I am still one of them for sure. No, but yeah, exactly. Yeah, it teaches you respect. You become aware of your surroundings. You become. I feel like it makes you a better person. You learn many skills surfing. You learn about the weather. Crazy, like when you're a surfer, you're always looking at like forecasts. You're always looking at the surf forecast. Even if it's just Surfline, you're always looking at how much swell there is, what direction the wind is going, what the tide's doing. And some people just leave it at that. Some people dive deep further into it and start looking at swell maps and weather patterns. And lots of surfers end up going down that path and get careers in that path, you know? Heaps of surfers do it. And it's because it just comes natural to us. You always want to know what the waves are going to do tomorrow, so you just check the forecast. And it's something about that that's nearly addictive. It's nearly just addicting knowing what the waves are going to do in a few days' time, you know? You kind of do it subconsciously.
Yeah.
When did I decide professional surfing was a career I wanted to take? I don't know. I think I wanted to become a professional surfer pretty much from the day I started surfing. I started surfing when I was 12. Yeah, 4 years now.
Seriously?
Started getting deeply into it, properly into it when I was 13. I kind of wanted to become professional ever since I started. But yeah, and then I just dove deeper into it, and the better I got, the more I wanted to become professional. And now I'm chasing it, you know. Now I'm on the qualifying series and I'm trying to qualify for the World Tour, and that is the big goal. If I can qualify, that's like, wow, a dream come true. My ultimate surf goal in my whole life is to be surfing till the day I can't. If I can surf till, I don't know what age it is, but if I can just surf till my body gives up, I am stoked. I just want to be surfing for the rest of my life. I don't know. I want to be surfing good for the rest of my life as well. My ultimate professional surfing goal would be to win a world title. I think that's every kid's dream. Saying you're a world champ, that's pretty dope. Like, world champ, like big trophy just above your head. Wow. I don't know. Ultimate froth. I would love to win a world title. That's the goal. If I achieved a world title, it would mean the world to me. It would mean everything. It would be great because then it celebrates, I guess it celebrates all the hard work I've put in over the years. And I would love to be able to share it with people I love, family, friends. And yeah, I would just, it would just kind of be like a big tick in a box. like just ding. But even if I don't achieve it, I feel like I'll still tick the box if I'm still surfing till the day I can't, you know? This year was a big learning curve for me. So this year was my first year of international comps, and I started traveling far and wide for comps. Portugal, I was meant to go over to Mexico. Sadly, that didn't happen for a number of reasons, but this year I learned a lot about me as a surfer, me as a person, but also just everything in competition, you know. You win more than you lose. I mean, you lose more than you win. You're always going to lose more than you win. And that is a hard thing to wrap your head around, you know. Just getting knocked out, it sucks. Everyone hates losing. But it's kind of just how you lose, how you deal with it. And I learned a lot. Just from I had 2 really early round knockouts in 2 big comps, and that really put it into perspective how much harder I need to work. And I guess it put it into perspective that, like you said, comps aren't just all sunshine, rainbows and flowers, you know. There's a lot of hard work that goes behind wins, and it's nearly like every win you take is like a little goal, you know. You win a heat, it's amazing. The hard work, to go into hard work more deeply, to go deeper into hard work, early risers, and you're at the gym, you're eating healthy, even though I might not do that sometimes, but you're eating healthy, you're at the gym, you're doing all sorts of things. You're looking after your body, you're stretching, you're doing yoga. And it's just looking after yourself, mentally and physically. There's a lot you got to push through, like paddling out in condition. You got to paddle out in conditions you don't want to paddle out in. Every competitive surfer will know that. There's just some days you're like, that looks horrible, but I'm gonna do it, because you never know what you're gonna get in a comp as well. And you got to perform on the spot. You know, you got to perform in the spotlight. There's cameras on you. The conditions most of the time aren't perfect, and there's people on the beach watching. There's beach announcers that are putting pressure on you, you know. You've got the judges that you're performing for. So you got to be well-rounded. So you got to surf all conditions. And even there's some days where I go down to the beach, I'm like, that does not look fun for a longboard, but I'm going to go take my longboard out because I need to practice, you know? I need to put in the work to get the results. I would say don't worry on the results, especially your early ones. Don't worry on your results, because they won't make or break your career. Yes, some do, for sure, but little results will not make or break your career. And don't dwell over the losses. Take the positives out of the losses and put it into work. Get back home, work harder, faster, stronger, smarter, and you put in the work and the results will come. And I've just really witnessed that. The more work you put in, the more likely the results are going to come. And another great bit of advice I'd give to the younger generation that wants to start competing and become professional is that in surfing, there's so many things you can't control. You cannot control what the conditions are going to be like. You can't control who's in your heat. So you just got to go out there and do the best you can. And if you've gone out in your heat and you come in and you've done the most you can, you should be happy with that. Whether that has gone your way and you've won the heat or made it through progressed on to the next round, or you haven't, if you've done everything you can, you have to be stoked with yourself. And, you know, you can't worry about what others are going to do. And just don't worry about the things you can't control, which is a very hard thing to do in surfing, just because, like I said, you can't control a lot. Yeah, well, surfing is a blessing. We are very blessed to ride waves. We're very blessed to ride the ocean. Everything about surfing is a blessing, you know. Lots of things come together for us to surf, and I am, blessed. Blessed is a very good word to describe surfing. Part of what I love about surfing is the history. Like I said earlier, I'm an old soul. I love everything old, and I kind of feel like I'm reliving that 60s life in a way. The 60s was a cool era. Although I didn't live in it, I've done, I guess you could say, research. I love it. Just everything from the surfing. Surfing really became surfing in the 60s. In the 60s, surfing took a big change. That's like right at the start of the 60s, they were riding big, heavy 10-foot boards, logs. And by the end of the 60s, they were on shortboards. You know, in 1969, or during that 67, 68 period, boards went from 9 foot down to 6 foot, 7 foot, you know? And so surfing was in a great spot, especially in 1966. That was the pinnacle of longboarding. Nat Young won the world title, and that was really what we call involvement surfing. And yeah, it was a cool time. Style was cool, the music was cool, art was cool. Obviously, there's all the Beatles and famous bands, Creedence Clearwater Revival, and all those astonishing bands, but now I can't think of any. Surfing, like in surf, music was rock. It was 60s rock, surf rock. It was a pretty crazy thing. Like, it was real upbeat, fast drum beats, aggressive guitar, and then there was also a lot of mellow music as well. Like, you listen to the Endless Summer soundtrack, amazing soundtrack. Beach Boys was 60s. Even though that was kind of known as surf rock, it wasn't really surf rock. Wait, I'm just gonna get up a few names just to. This was a good playlist, by the way. This is made by a mate of mine.
We can link it at the end of the video.
Oh, sick. Yeah, sick. This is made by a mate of mine, Henry Gibbs, and he's just put all the famous surf rock from the 60s. So yeah, there was the Beatles, the Sunsets. That's what I was thinking. Sunsets, Cream, 13th Floor Elevators, some sick bands. 10 Years After. But yeah, lots of good music from the 60s. And I do listen to that 60s surf rock, 50s surf rock. But I also listen to a lot of other stuff that is a bit unique. I listen to a lot of blues. I love my blues. Albert Collins and far out, so many names. Freddie King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, you know, you could list so many. I could be here for years listing people, but yeah, and even to jazz. I'm a big fan of jazz. I've been getting into my jazz a lot lately. Jazz is sick. Jazz is awesome. Like Chet Baker and once again, I don't need to name them. There's so many. But like everything, even funk, like just music in general. I actually don't play any instruments. I don't play any music, but I love music. Yeah, I love it. It is one of the biggest loves in my life. Just putting in my headphones and listening to music is amazing. And yeah, I would actually love, could we make like a playlist for this video? Like that we could link to the end, like you said? I would love to just have a playlist, but I would just put in like my 10 like favorite songs that just kind of overlook my taste of music. Thanks for watching. Nah, we don't want to end it off like that. Thanks for watching. I hope I passed on whoops. Thanks for watching. I hope I passed on the stoke. And if you haven't tried surfing, I suggest you try it. Cut. Oh, is that good?
Perfect.
Sweet. Epic.